Hi guys, Kelly Cook coming at you with Books with the Cooks, and today I am solo, but I have a really good book and I'm probably going to have to talk loud because the boys are in the living, well, Jack is in the living room conditioning on Zoom with the rest of boys team, and it's getting kind of loud out there because they're playing a card game. So anyways, I'll try and talk over their loudness. The book is called When I Was Little, which I thought was great for this because someday you guys are going to think back. It's a really cute book. I say it all the time. It's about a little girl named Charlie. Charlie lived in a big house in a park by the sea with her mother and baby sister and her father, who was the park ranger. What a cool job. One day, her grandmother came to visit, and the two of them went for a walk after dinner. As they left the house, the swallows swooped out of their nests underneath the eaves. When I was little, I used to be a bird, and I flew in the sky and built a nest on the porch, Charlie said, smiling as she watched the swallows flying away. Really? I don't remember that, said Grandma. At the bottom of the steps, they saw a black ant carrying a crumb across the sidewalk. When I was little, I used to be an ant, and I hurried into the cracks in the sidewalk when people came, murmured Charlie as she bent down to get a closer look. Are you sure? Grandma said. I don't remember that either. Wouldn't you have worried about being stepped on? Good question, Grandma. Then Charlie picked up a sparkly brown snail by the garden gate. I was a snail when I was little, and I lived in a pretty shell in the dirt, she teased. I must not have been there when that happened, said Grandma, but you would not have had to curl up very tight in order to fit. I guess Charlie's pretty little. Charlie and Grandma held hands as they went through the gate and into the field where the deer were grazing. When I was little, Charlie whispered, so as to not scare away the deer, I was a baby deer, and I ate grass and lived in the woods at night. But I thought I saw you in your bed then, said Grandma. A small green frog hopped in front of them as they passed the bushes on the side of the road. Charlie declared, when I was little, I was a frog, and said, ribbit, ribbit. I don't think I ever heard you, Grandma said. It would have been hard to just say the same word over and over. Oh, gotta show you a picture. Charlie stopped to run, so of course Grandma ran after her. They stopped to catch their breath underneath the tallest tree where the yellow-beaked bald eagle perched on top of a branch and peered down at them. Oh, that would be cool. I love bald eagles. Don't get to see them very often, though. Sometimes when we go to the park, we see them. When I was little, Charlie explained, as she tilted her head up to the sky, I was an eagle, and I sat on top of the trees and looked at the world. How strange that I never saw you there, Grandma said. It would be exciting to be able to see so far. The two of them approached the pasture where the goats came running to the fence to meet them, hoping for a snack. When I was little, I was a black and white baby goat who followed her mother everywhere, Charlie insisted. I must not have known you then, said Grandma. Charlie and her grandmother walked down the blackberry-bordered path, being careful not to step on the woolly bear caterpillars. I love woolly bears, exclaimed Charlie. She picked one up and let it curl around her finger. When I was little, I used to be a furry caterpillar, and I crawled up the tree branches to find good leaves to eat. I don't think I would have liked that at all, Grandma said. You would have been very hard to pick out of a crowd. They do kind of all look alike. The path led them to a sandy beach where they walked to the water's edge. Oh, that's pretty. Wonder what she's going to pretend to be now. Grandma pointed out the flashing fins of black and white orca who were swimming by in the distance. Oh, very cool. When I was little, I was a big whale, and I swam everywhere with my family in deep water, Charlie decided. I guess I missed that part of your life, Grandma said. Charlie picked up a clam at her feet that the tide had carried in. When I was little, I used to be a clam, and I hid in my hand my hard white shell and wouldn't let anyone open me up, she confided. I surely didn't see you then, said Grandma. Wouldn't you have been lonely in there with no one to talk to? The sun was starting to set, so Charlie and Grandma waved goodbye to the orca out at sea and the clam on the shore. They walked up the path, past the caterpillars on the leaves, the goats with their nose pressed to the fence, and the eagle still perched in the tree. They crossed the field where the deer were gazing and saw the frog hiding in the bushes. It was definitely getting dark for them. It was a long walk. They opened the gate and carefully stepped around the snail in the garden. They avoided the ants scurrying across the sidewalk. They tiptoed under the swallows tucked in their nest. When they got to the house, Grandma helped Charlie put on her pajamas, brush her teeth, and get into bed. Then her mother and baby sister came in to say goodnight. When I was little, Charlie said, I was a baby and slept in my mommy's arms. Grandma pulled the covers underneath Charlie's chin and kissed her cheek. I remember that well, Grandma said. I think everyone did that. The end. What a sweet book. I liked this book. What a great adventure. This book was called When I Was Little. And this was Books with the Cooks, and I'm Kelly Cook, and happy Thursday, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow's Friday. All right, see you then. Bye.